industry through impacts like higher temperatures, altered rainfall patterns, more frequent extreme weather events, and spread of pests and diseases. Urgent adaptation efforts are needed to mitigate these risks and help Vietnamese pepper farmers cope with a changing climate. Rising temperatures pose challenges for pepper cultivation in Vietnam. Higher average temperatures shorten the growth cycle of pepper plants, reduce flower budding and fruit setting, and accelerate plant maturity. This makes it difficult for pepper vines to achieve optimum yield potentials. The number of very hot days above 35 degrees Celsius has also increased in recent decades, causing heat stress that inhibits photosynthesis, increases respiration rates, and reduces essential oil. Content of peppercorns. Shifting pepper farming to higher elevations and adopting more heat-tolerant pepper varieties could help minimize some temperature-related impacts. Altered rainfall patterns associated with climate change threaten pepper yields in Vietnam, where most crops rely on annual monsoon rains. Peak wet season rainfall has intensified in recent decades, bringing episodic flooding that damages pepper vines and young peppercorns. Meanwhile, increased rainfall variability and longer dry spells during critical reproductive growth stages diminish pepper yields. Over time, these rainfall shifts may necessitate changes to sowing times, irrigation techniques, and pepper varieties that are better suited to variable rainfall conditions. Early warning systems, weather insurance, and post-disaster recovery assistance also need to be scaled up to build farmer resilience. More frequent typhoons and other extreme weather events fueled by climate change pose additional risks to Vietnam's pepper industry. Powerful storms and flash floods have caused devastating losses of pepper crops and uprooted mature vines in recent years. Erratic weather under a changing climate is projected to become the new normal, requiring systemic upgrades to disaster risk reduction and agricultural support schemes. On-farm measures like adopting resilient pepper varieties, reinforcing pepper nurseries, and using cover crops can complement large-scale adaptations to build a more climate-smart pepper value chain. Climate change is further expected to exacerbate pest and disease outbreaks affecting pepper cultivation in Vietnam. Rising CO2 levels, warmer temperatures, and more anomalous weather patterns create conducive environments for the spread of insect pests that damage pepper plants and fruits. Meanwhile, warmer minimum temperatures allow crop diseases to persist year-round, undermining integrated pest management strategies. Researchers have already observed shifts in the distributions, seasonal activities, and damage potentials of key pests and diseases affecting Vietnam's pepper industry. Adapting pest and disease surveillance systems, strengthening integrated pest management practices, and developing resistant pepper varieties are thus critical climate adaptation needs. In summary, climate change threatens to undermine the productivity, livelihoods, and sustainability of Vietnam's vital pepper sector through its myriad impacts. Urgent adaptation measures, from developing robust pepper varieties to reinforcing infrastructure, integrating new farming practices, and strengthening farmer support systems, are indispensable for bolstering the climate resilience of Vietnam's pepper industry and agriculture as a whole. With coordinated effort and investment from government agencies, researchers, private businesses, and local communities, Vietnam stands a good chance of adapting successfully to the inevitable challenges of a changing climate for its valuable pepper crop. Pepper cultivation is an important industry in Vietnam, with the country being one of the top producers and exporters of black pepper in the world.